Afiyet olsun. Have your dessert. Eat. Tamam. Yes.
How do we keep hope?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me tell you something. We used to have a plaque written on a piece of wood hanging in the old Dergah by the doorway. It is connected to this question. Those who have seen those days, and I think almost everyone has seen those days, you remember what that plaque says? You remember? Say. Yeah, someone is remembering. That plaque is saying, I was complaining all my life because I have no shoes, until I met a man who has no feet. That word is enough for one who believes. Which is why in Islam, when it comes to dunya, possessions, what you have in this dunya, you always compare yourself to someone who does not have it. You compare yourself to those ones who are poorer. It is the way of this dunya that they always want to compare you, what you have, to someone who is richer. Lifestyles of rich and famous. So you're always looking at the rich and famous and comparing your life and saying, now I must run to become like them. This is wrong. It's upside down now. Islam is saying, compare yourself, what you have, to those who don't have. That time, you will have peace in your heart. That time, you will have more intelligence and more faith. That time, you will have more hope and more understanding. When do you compare yourself? You compare yourself to someone who has more when it comes to taqwa, when it comes to running to do good things. You don't compare yourself to someone who has less taqwa, or someone who is cruel, or someone who is bad, and to say, oh, I'm such a saint because I'm doing this and so is not doing that. No, you compare yourself with someone who's higher than you in that matter. You always compare yourself. Look at this one. This one, although he has so many bad characteristics, he has this one good characteristic, and I don't have that. Shame on me to say that. So that time, every stranger that you meet, you're going to find a secret that he has. And you're going to understand you don't have that secret. And you're asking Allah to give you that secret, and you're feeling very thankful, and you're feeling very ashamed of yourself. Who knows? It's going to be given to you. Because you're always checking yourself. You're not putting yourself high. Ahir Zaman. They say when it comes to being good or bad, always compare yourself to a criminal. Oh, at least I don't kill. They're saying that. I'm not a killer. I'm a good person. I don't kill. I don't lie. I don't cheat. This is upside down. How are you going to keep hope? Are you meditating every day on the favors of your Lord? You will have hope. You'll be real. Are you meditating every day how Allah has removed those favors from so many people in this world, that you don't have to picture yourself in India or in Africa? It's happening here in this world, in this country, in your own city. Are you walking around? Are you taking lesson from your life? Or are you just turning on television, hoping television is going to give lesson to your life? Are you walking around to see someone is like this? This one has less. This is a bum in the street. It could be me. And there are so many who have less, but they have more iman. So many non-Muslims, they become Muslims. Not because some alim comes and debate with them. Not because they give free Qurans to them, knocking on their door, giving them brochures and arguing with them. But they see the manners, the ahlak. the adab of Muslims, and their hearts just melt. I just saw this woman saying, I came to a very poor house, and this woman, in the day of Ramadan, she was inviting me for iftar, and she stood up and she greeted me and she made me to come inside her house. She said, as if she owned the Taj Mahal, she said, with so much honor, with so much nobility. But this woman lived in a hut, and says, please sit, and please sit. We have iftar prepared for you. And she said, what do we have? Just a couple of dates, some dry bread. But this person is so happy. And this non-believer at that time, she said, I felt angry. I felt angry that she who had nothing, and she's still fasting. She said, I felt angry at Islam. Why this religion is making even poor people to fast. She has nothing. And so this woman asked the old lady, the poor lady, saying, why do you fast? And this lady looked at her and says, so that I know how poor people they feel. That time she started crying and her heart melted, and she says, if Islam is teaching her that, I want that Islam. That one, you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not listening? That one has more faith than maybe so many millions of Muslims who are living in luxury. So now it is a state of the heart. That is taqwa. It is not going up and down 24 hours non-stop. It is not going to the Hajj back and forth every weekend like a vacation time. Anytime you are free, you want to go to Umrah. It is not going to all these mehfils non-stop, but every time you're going there, you go like a donkey, you come back like a donkey, because you're still judgmental, you're still angry, you're still upset, you're still jealous, you're still arrogant, backbiting and slandering non-stop. There is a person who is patient with their Lord, who is happy in that patience with their Lord, and is understanding the favors of their Lord that has been given to them, and turning around to help others. You lose hope, you don't have hope, get up from your chair, get up from your bed, and help those who don't have hope. See that time how quickly you're going to get cured. Help those who need your help. Don't sit just with your shaitan and with your ego, and to let it to trick you and to let you to come out from faith because you start complaining to your Lord. Get up and help those who are in need of help. That's the time you will start kicking out the shaitans. You will start thinking. Intelligence and faith will come into your heart that time, and you will understand. There is a blessing in the old ways, in the old traditions too, in the old countries. You come out and you see poverty right outside of your door. You come out and you see cripples and handicaps people. You come out and you see the real life that majority of these people in this world, they are going through. You are not living just in a bubble country, in a bubble state, in a bubble community. Once you live in that kind of bubble community and you're not understanding the favors of your Lord, you turn to start to attack yourself. That's why you see all those weird kind of crimes happening in first world countries. Weird kind of crimes that is not happening amongst the people who have no education, but it's happening with the people who have education. What kind of weird crimes? All of that spiritual disease just hits the heart, hits the head. The kid who has everything in this world, he has everything, not even thousands of kids they have, he takes out a gun and starts shooting everyone and himself. In the old days, you come out everywhere now, you start remembering your Lord, understanding, teaching. There was time and there was freedom back then because you can think. These days, you cannot think. You don't have time to think. That shaitan box television and now that shaitan box internet in your hand, you don't even have time to think because you're always being busy with Malayani, seeing something interesting, seeing something funny that is teaching you nothing. And 90% of the time, people are on it for pornography. So how that time you're going to have mercy in your heart? How that time you're going to have hope in your heart? Because you become psychotic now. So, we're asking Allah to forgive us, to make us to turn around and to become better ones. We're asking our Lord to keep us in Jamaat, keep us in a community. Because only in a community where you understand how other people are living. If you live by yourself, you become a selfish individual that time. But when you live in a community and you start taking care of each other, you start to come out from yourself. Then you start to understand whatever small problem that you're going through is huge in your mind, but you look and you compare. Like the man who's complaining all his life because he has no shoes, he stopped complaining once he saw a man who has no feet. This world like this or like that is going to end. We're going to go into the grave with only one piece of cloth. Nothing else. Except for our intentions and our actions. So concentrate on that, inshallah. These are words first for myself to take lesson from, and for those who are listening. Those of you who are not listening, who are listening and they don't accept, it's okay, leave it there. I have need for it. If you take it, you will win dunya and akhirat. These are some of the teachings of our Shaykh Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Kabir Rabbani. May Allah raise his station higher and higher. May he always guide us beyond the mountain of Kaf to keep us always on the Siratul Mustaqim. Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Have a good day.